The Office of Student Involvement and Leadership supports student organizations with both in-person and virtual operations. In this episode, we'll discuss 4 strategies that are critical for student leaders who are managing their organization virtually. These strategies include building trust, removing barriers, developing relationships, and providing accountability. Building trust amongst your virtual team is imperative for the leader of any student organization. Leaders should adopt the following practices to provide an environment that is rooted in honesty and transparency. No matter the environment, student organization leaders should provide consistency and structure for their organization members. Structure can be provided by developing clear expectations for organization members and ensuring these are communicated to the group at the beginning of their experience. All roles should be clearly defined for the members of your team. Organization members should know what positions and individuals have decision-making authority, and you'll want to be sure to distribute this authority equitably across members of your leadership team. You'll also want to make sure to identify and utilize opportunities to recognize organization members for their accomplishments. This can be done individually or in front of the whole group. It may be a good idea to ask your members to disclose how they like to receive praise so you can be respectful of this in the moment. The next strategy to utilize when leading a virtual team is to identify and remove barriers that stand in the way of your organization members being successful. Make sure to provide your members with the appropriate training required to be able to fulfill their role on the team. It may be a good idea to identify certain topics that should be covered with all members, while also identifying other topics that may be specific to a member's position or role within the organization. Through these training opportunities, as well as through your ongoing operations, it will be important to create environments where your team can interact with one another and collaborate on new and existing projects. This next strategy is one that leaders may overlook, but is imperative to an organization's success. It is critical for student organization leaders to understand their role in connecting their team in an online environment. Positive relationships with fellow organization members allow for individuals to feel safe when communicating and sharing ideas with other members of the team. Organization leaders should create opportunities for members to learn about one another and deepen their relationships through the exploration of individual and shared values. In addition to identifying shared values, it is essential to identify shared goals for your organization. The goals can be set by the organization leader, or better yet, through a collaborative dialogue amongst the organization's membership. These goals should define the organization's current priorities and guide the members in their work. It is the organization leader's responsibility to ensure the established goals are communicated clearly to members, especially if these goals are different while operating virtually. The organization's shared mission, values, and goals should be used when providing accountability for members. Leaders should provide frequent and timely feedback to let the member know how and where they're meeting expectations, but also where there is room for improvement. If all members can agree on the shared goals of the organization and the steps required to reach those goals, a leader's job in providing accountability can be less challenging. As often as possible, leaders should provide their membership with an opportunity to ask questions and share concerns about potential barriers that are impacting their progress and success. This open line of communication will allow organization leaders to intervene prior to the organization member not meeting the outlined expectations. We hope you'll be able to utilize these strategies in leading your organization virtually. Additional resources on managing your student organization can be found under the Resources tab on the Student Organization website. We would love to hear your feedback on if this episode was helpful and what topics you want to hear more about in the future. Leave us a comment or visit the link in the video description to send any feedback our way.